In Kali, do you need to train specifically the left hand? The answer is yes, but also no. Let me explain. If you're going through the process of learning and developing the skills systematically, you do not need to work on a particular basic drill with the left hand for many hours and repetitions. Oftentimes I get asked, should I work my left side or my least dominant side as often, if not more, than my dominant side? And I always say, no, don't do that. Work on your strong side. Okay, so when you're going through this process correctly and you're learning all your basic striking and you're learning your basic footwork and you're learning how to apply your strikes with the footwork all at the same time, then you get really good on one side of the body. Kali is asymmetrical. It is not a symmetrical thing, it's asymmetrical. Right? We can already debunk the whole symmetry of Kali simply with striking mechanics. That when you strike a forehand, let me grab a blade. When you strike a forehand, your wrist has to be canted for that blade edge to be striking forward at your opponent. And when you strike a backhand, your wrist has to be straight in order for that blade edge to be striking directly at the opponent. If your wrist is straight on a forehand, you're throwing your weapon somewhere way over their shoulder. If your wrist is canted on the backhand, again, you're throwing your weapon way somewhere over their shoulder. So right there, just in the striking mechanics alone, proves that Kali is an asymmetrical fighting system in methodology. It is not symmetrical. This is the importance of learning the proper striking mechanics, knowing how to actually strike your weapon and understand that. But as you're going through systematically, then you're learning how to apply your footwork with your strikes and understanding range, timing, momentum, all those things. And then eventually, as you continue your progress through the process, through the actual system, the process of logic, then eventually you're going to get to the double weapons. And you're going to get to your double sticks. And you're going to learn how to fight and how to maneuver with your double sticks. Okay, just keep some nice basic examples here. Okay, and then you can go into all of your other things. But as you're going through the process of this, mastering the single weapon with the dominant side, mastering how to fight with the two weapons, okay, and understanding that, the skill transfers physically. This is what I've talked about in one of my previous videos about knowledge is not enough. Knowing the information intellectually in your mind means nothing in this art. It's about understanding the knowledge, but at a physical level. Not just thinking you understand something in your mind, because you might think you understand something, but then when it comes time, when you got somebody in front of you that's got skill or has no regard for their safety, maybe some experience, you're going to very quickly know whether you physically understand the knowledge or not. You're going to know immediately before you even start moving with somebody. You're going to lock eyes and you're going to know where you are in the pecking order of this situation. So the transference of skill becomes a physical understanding. And when you're going through the system properly, then it's already there. And your body will be able to transfer that knowledge seamlessly over to the left hand. Because the development of the coordination in the athletic need, the athletic attributes, has already been developed through the double weapon, or through the proper process of skill acquisition systematically, going through it systematically. Therefore, you're not wasting time on something that doesn't really matter, because you're going to gain that skill anyways through the system, through the process of development and skill acquisition through the system. Look, the system is designed to protect you, to protect the fighter. It is designed to give you a process of logic, a rinse and repeat process to succeed at the engagement. That's what the system is designed to do. So it's going to make your body stronger, more agile, more mobile, more flexible, and it's going to build the endurance that is necessary for whatever the fight may require, may call on. So that's why the answer to do you need to train the left hand is a yes and no answer. And oftentimes at seminars when people are like, should I train my left hand? I'm like, whatever, do whatever you want. I mean, that's really just an answer of feelings, right? Just to make you feel better, because a lot of times in my experience teaching, that when you give people the real answer, they don't like it, and they don't want to accept it, because the vast majority of people on this planet are not going to go through the process of actual skill acquisition. They're not going to go through the systematic process of learning this art. They're just not going to. Over my experience in training this stuff and teaching this stuff for as long as I have, very, very few, probably less than 1% of the people I've come across are actually willing to go through the process of this. So they think, most people, 99.5% of the people out there think that they're gonna come up with a better way of training and developing this stuff. That's where I say, hey, you know what? You do you. I don't know anything, okay? I don't know anything. What do I know? I've only been doing this and exploring this stuff for, quarter century, basically my entire life. But, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I just let people kind of do their thing. But the people that really want it, the people that are really going to listen and put the work in, this lesson's for you. You don't need to, you can with the very basic stuff, but once you're really training this stuff systematically, you're not going to need to train the left hand in this kind of isolation like we do on, the main side of the body there. Because even when you're working on your dose, the left hand has a different operation than the right hand. When you're working on your espada y daga, right, the left hand has a different operation than what the right hand does anyways. So all that skill in the left hand will be developed for those who are willing and actually going to go through the systematic process of skill acquisition. Hope you understand that. You might have to train to really get it.